Trump shall become a trumpet, says the Lord. No, you didn't hear me. Trump shall become a trumpet. Are you listening to me? I will raise up the Trump to become a trumpet. Now God says a president that I will bring into the White House. And they will say he is ungodly. He does not know God. Even as Jesus disguised himself for the great feast, so I have disguised this man's heart. And when he comes to the White House, not only shall he be mine, but he shall pray as a man that has never prayed in the White House. And God says they will say, how did this take place? Laws shall change. Young men and young women shall have access into the kingdom, and with authority into politics, and with authority into the industries that now have been controlled by darkness, because of this man that shall rule for another 2 terms, for 2 terms. But there will be things that men shall question. Fear not, for he shall sit in that seat, and suddenly my spirit shall come upon him and baptize him. I see a president that shall come, and God says he will have absolutely no fear. Absolutely no fear. Will be decisive, make decisions. And then in the middle of the restoration of America, rapidly, because of a source of energy that shall come quickly, and because of medical breakthroughs, and because of agreements between nations, specifically China, God said they shall say, we never dreamed this would happen. And of the new party that has come forth and emerged, where they shall say Christ will reign, and this we shall not implement at all socialism, where they have said we will make history without God. No, you will not. No, you will not, says the Lord. For I chose this nation before it was founded. Before anybody came here, I chose this entire nation, all 50 states, every one of them, to send my gospel to the entire earth. Do you think I have changed my mind? Therefore, the healing that is necessary for this nation shall come at a time in the middle of the presidency. There shall be a woman that shall come, and God said there shall be oil that shall be poured upon the nation, and they shall suddenly feel the healing, and they shall say, it is well with my soul, it is well with our soul. For the soul of America has been corrupted, the soul of this nation has been corrupted with bitterness and anger, and God said she shall say, no more bitterness, no more anger, no more division, and shall pour the oil that shall come from the Spirit of the Lord himself. If you as a nation believe it, if you want this, lift your voice and shout one more time and say, yes! Yes to Esther! Yes to Esther! Yes to Esther! Yes to Esther! The Spirit of God says, do you hear the sound of the trumpet? Do you hear the sound of the victory?
And they shall say, but now there is a second president. How can we have 2 presidents? What an unusual thing, isn't it? Says the Spirit of Lord. And why would it be that one with a double mind, well, a double mind, double speak, can't remember what he said last, would actually stand up and face the people?
There will be a praying president, not a religious one. For I will fool the people, says the Lord. I will fool the people. Yes, I will.
My dad prophesied this on April 4th of 2008 in Seattle, Washington. And they shall say, but now there is a second president. How can we have 2 presidents? An unusual thing, isn't it, says the Spirit of the Lord. Why would it be that one with a double mind would stand up and face the people?
There is a man by the name of Mr. Clark, and there is also another man by the name of Donald. You are both watching me saying, could it be that God's speaking to me? Yes, he is. Somebody, just a few minutes before you came on the show, you went out and you took the American flag and you said, I'm proud of my nation. And you raised it up, and God said, you have been determined through your prayers to influence this nation. You're watching me, you're an influential person. The Spirit of God says, hear the word of the prophet to you as a king. I will open that door that you prayed about. And when it comes time for the election, you will be elected. Spirit of God says, my people have cried out for an answer. And this is what I have to say, says the Spirit of life. A veil has been placed upon this nation, and I did it. I did it. So that for a season my people would wonder and faith would increase. For in darkness faith grows. In despair faith grows. I did it. But now my fury has ended. Many years ago in a Hyatt Regency, my prophet stood and prophesied, and yes, said the Lord, it did happen. But I raised up a man that stood against Islam. I raised up a man that stood against the war, against the nations that would come against Israel. Where is that man? I call for that man now, says the Lord. I call for that man again to come onto the scene and take the seat in the White House and be a noble president, says the Lord.
But this part about for a season there would be darkness, a veil for a season. That term season is going to become important, and I think a season really does only mean a season. That for a season my people would wonder and faith would grow. Bear with me on this. But this was stuck, wedged right in the middle of the two-term stuff.
No, they shall say, we have two presidents. What do we do now? Fear not. For God said, as I promised before, this is my nation, and I will change things according to the time and season. And I told you now in spring I will expose and reveal things that have been hidden, so that my nation can move into this next election and to the next phase with victory and honor and glory, says the Lord of hosts.
I will fool the people. I will fool the people. Oh, yes, I will, says the Lord.
The Spirit of God says one more thing I want to talk to you about. That little dwarf in North Korea, I'm getting a little tired of him. I think I'm going to go and pay him a visit, says the Lord. You watch and see what I do.
Come on, come on.
And that will be a big sign that the man that I'm sending with a stone for the giant is emerging, says the Lord.
Now, if you remember these Donald Trump prophecies, actually the largest function of them, the largest part that, one of the parts that hasn't happened yet, revolved around this giant financial reset. It was a David and a Goliath. This was the David. And there was a Goliath, and they would laugh and they would say, oh, you can't, we own the world. And he would take a simple stone. Well, this would be a great big sign. So this North Korea incident here would be a great big sign that the man with the stone for the giant, and I don't know what the stone is, was emerging. And I begin to think about just that alone. Emerging is a term you use not when somebody's done, but as a sign when they're emerging. They're beginning. They're just getting started.
And God says, these that shall reject him shall be shocked at how he takes the giant down. Now hear me please. The giant of death, the giants that have come, the brothers of Goliath, stand in glee watching America. We will cripple you. You will lose your credit. But God said, watch. I said 20,000. Look not to Wall Street, however, observe. And they shall say, what is your plan for this giant? And he will take a simple stone. Remember the name. And he will hold it up and they will laugh at him. But the plan is so brilliant, says the Lord. It could only have been given by me.